FBI director confirms very active Russian efforts to interfere in election. I'll wait till tomorrow, when Trump tries to discredit the FBI director. Steady drumbeat of misinformation and sort of amplification of smaller cyber intrusions that could sow distrust in the results of the election. Wait. Even more than your current president, by advocating to vote twice, for instance. FBI, the Russians are very obviously trying to affect this election in favor of Donald Trump. So? Are China doing it? They're the real enemy. If the GOP don't do everything in their power to stop this, they have proved themselves as traitors to the state and should be imprisoned. That is how laws work. The FBI director also explicitly said that Russia is trying to make Biden lose, as they see him more of a threat to Russia's interest than Trump. Also, I'm quite worried about domestic and much more powerful actors who are trying to sabotage the 2020 election. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, and they have improved from 2016. During the war the Allies didn't want to assassinate Hitler as he was such a poor tactician, and any replacement would do a much better job. I believe this is similar to why the Russians primarily want to support Trump. Watching your country in such a chaotic state saddens and infuriates me. I hope you get leadership worthy of you and that your government starts working for you, the people. How about they reveal exactly what Russia is doing? Social media posts? Mark them. If they can't get Twitter and Facebook to, then do it themselves. If there's other things, make them public. The dumbing down of the American public by corporate and political interest is being exploited by a foreign nation. I guess the money is good enough from them that it makes this okay. That interference is called the Trump administration, and every politician that's silent about his traitorous actions is just as complacent. If voting doesn't work, there will have to be a choice from Americans to rise together or do nothing and become the Fourth Reich. I pray for us all. Honestly though, the Russian attacks are all social media based. We wouldn't be susceptible if a majority of our population was better educated. I've been taught critical thinking since 6th grade, private school, and was taught about legitimate web-based sources of information in college, private school. Maybe we need to raise our standards of education in the public sector? None of the public colleges I went to 3 public colleges/universities, ever taught about reliable information gathering. We know. Now fucking do something about it, and nothing will happen while they will have their way. Is the FBI planning to actually do something about it this time, or are they just going to make conveniently timed public statements to mess with the election? Especially considering this administration will do everything in its power to avoid pressing charges of any kind in this scenario. Real question, why doesn't he go into super detailed specifics? Slightly related, I guess, any suspected link between Russia and Cannon. Okay, and what is the FBI doing about it? Because we know Republicans are actively encouraging and collaborating with Russia to try and steal another election. America can dish out election interference, but they just can't take it. But hasn't Russia been interfering in American elections to some degree since the Cold War? Isn't it natural for a superpower to interfere with another country's business? Take the USA for example, they interferes with the elections in Iraq when they invaded it on a lie. America has so much blood on its hands for fucking up the world that it makes me laugh every time I see an American cry about Russian interference in their elections. I mean, of course you'd want to influence the direction of such a seemingly careless country that causes untold levels of damage to the balance in the world for oil, money, war. You know it's serious because the FBI used to very s. I don't believe this. Some people say this, some people say that. Who knows what to believe? Some fine people say this is a hoax. I tend to believe them. And if it was true, it would benefit me. I don't think that would be wrong. If people try to help me, I wouldn't complain, and I don't think it is wrong or illegal. But it is not true. The FBI has been wrong many times before. And they are all Democrats and never Trumpers there. Donald Trump probably later today. The GOP already confirmed they don't give a fuck. How retarded are Americans to be so easily influenced by Russia? When Russia does it, it's outrageous. When the US does it, they call it strategic counterintelligence. So what the fuck is the FBI, CIA, and other agencies doing to stop this? Isn't that their damn job? Another $200,000 worth of Facebook troll ads. Yawn. This topic is already on the front page. https://www. reddit.com/r/worldnews/comments/I am9e/Russia_seeks_Biden_from_winning_election/. The difference is that this article left out the important part that our intelligence services consider Russia, Iran, and China to be of national security risk. We should ask ourselves why these two latter nations were left out of this article. Could be due to a 5-letter word. Let's already start blaming the Russians, just in case. Common sense confirms, very active Russian/Chinese/Israeli/European efforts to interfere in election. Kinda like Reddit and its non-stop onslaught of Trump in every sub-hour after hour every single day. I'm no fan of Trump, but people on this site are trying to do the exact same thing. Every single day it seems like Facebook, Twitter, and Google add another conservative-leaning opinion to the list of opinions you're not allowed to voice without getting banned or censored. Amazing that anyone is still bell-yucking about Russia when a massive narrative-steering operation is being perpetrated at home by our own unaccountable corporations. Didn't the FBI explicitly say China, Russia, and Iran are all trying to actively interfere in the election? I feel like that's being left out. This again? Ugh. What are you doing, Russia? Anybody remember our president trusts Russia over the FBI? Wild how the party and supporters of McCarthyism is now totally cool with Russia and would likely prefer Putin as president over a Democratic candidate. Wasn't me. Gee, you reckon? Color me surprised. Why do we act like the US does not interfere in other countries' politics? This should not be a surprise. Other countries also do it to us. This close to the election I expected more than politically motivated sexual misconduct allegations and vague Russian election interference. 2016 called. They want their election tactics back, lol. Look at all the Facebook ads Russia is buying. Oh, they can be so targeted, it's just so clever. So silent. Of course, Trump basically invited them to, hey, I've seen this one. How many elections have the US interfered in? I feel some commenters came out of the woodwork a few months ago. You mean Trump efforts? I can confirm very active American efforts to interfere in the election. I mean Trump did say vote twice. Is Russia making Joe Biden and Kamala oppress minorities in their past? The ol Russian blaming trick. Who cares? What are they gonna do? Spread fake news like the mainstream media does all day every day. So in other words, the Mueller report part 2. It's amazing that the so-called greatest country in the world has known about this incredibly blatant foreign collusion for years now, and yet absolutely nothing is being done about it. The USA isn't the joke, the USA is the punchline. The taxpayers are the real joke here. Very. 11. Dude who writes these stupid headlines. What is this, a personal blog? Not really news to me. If you go on political subreddits, the shit is obvious. Yet I heard the Russians were encouraging all the riots. Both parties have their excuses for losing in place. This US election is a proxy war between Russia and China. Only one party wants to do something about that.